Airport security in 2025 isn't what it used to be. Imagine this. You're at the airport, coffee in hand, ready for your trip, but suddenly, your medications get flagged. Maybe it's your prescription pills, insulin pump, or even something as simple as your eye drops. One small mistake and you could be delayed, stressed, or worse, without something essential when you need it most. If you're like most travelers, you probably take at least one prescription medication. And yes, TSA does allow most meds, but the rules can be confusing. Did you know that prescription liquids aren't subject to the 311 rule? Or that even frozen gel packs are allowed for insulin and other meds? Or that your OTC creams and cough syrups can breeze through security if handled correctly? And it's not just about what you bring, it's about how you pack, label, and declare it. One small oversight can mean extra screening, long lines, or unnecessary stress right before your flight. But here's the good news. If you know the steps and follow a few key tips, you can glide through TSA like a pro, keeping your meds safe and your trip stress-free. So in this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know about traveling with medications in 2025, from prescriptions and OTCs to medical devices, documentation tips, and even international travel rules. Stick with me and you'll be that calm, prepared traveler everyone envies. Before we dive in, hit that like button and comment below. What's the one medication you always travel with? I want to hear your travel essentials. Let's start with prescription medications. These are usually the ones that cause the most stress at airport security. The good news? TSA is surprisingly flexible. You can bring any FDA-approved prescription medication, whether it's pills, liquids, or creams, and there's no limit on how much you can carry. That includes medications like insulin, pre-filled injectors like Omnipen, or topical creams for skin conditions. Here's a key tip. Keep your prescription meds in their original labeled bottles whenever possible. It's not required for every medication, but it can save you time and avoid extra scrutiny, especially for controlled substances like Adderall or Ambien. Try not to combine different pills into one container, as that can create confusion at security. Another important point, prescription liquids and gels are exempt from the 311 rule. That means you don't have to cram them into a tiny quart-sized bag. Simply take them out of your bag at security and let the TSA officer know their medications. This simple step keeps your screening smooth and prevents delays. And if you rely on cold packs or gel packs to keep your meds at the right temperature, TSA allows them, even if they're partially melted. Just make sure they're clearly associated with your medication. Keep your meds in original containers, declare them if they're liquid, and always carry them in your carry-on. That way, no matter what happens with your luggage or security lines, you'll have what you need. Now let's talk about over-the-counter or OTC medications, things like Tylenol, Advil, cough syrup, eye drops, or even creams like hydrocortisone. The great news? TSA treats these much more leniently than prescription meds. You can bring as many pills or liquid OTC medications as you need, and they're not subject to the tiny 311 liquid rule, as long as you clearly indicate they're for medical use. Here's a smart tip. Keep OTC medications separate from your toiletries. Place them in a small, clear bag or easily accessible spot in your carry-on. This makes it quick to show TSA officers that they're medical items, which keeps the line moving and avoids confusion. Even gels, creams, and liquids like antibiotic ointments, pain relief gels, or skin protectants like Aquaphor or CeraVe are generally allowed if they're for medical purposes. Just make it clear when asked. This way, your medications won't get mistaken for regular toiletries that fall under the 311 rule. Another little-known hack. If you travel internationally, double-check the destination country's rules for OTC meds. Most are fine, but some countries may require documentation for liquids or controlled ingredients. Being prepared helps you avoid delays or confiscation at foreign airports. OTC medications are flexible, but organization is key. Keep them separate, accessible, and labeled clearly as medical, and you'll glide through security with no stress. Comment below. Which OTC medication do you always pack when you travel? Share your tips for staying organized. Now let's cover medical devices. Things like insulin pumps, continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, CPAP machines, syringes, and other essential equipment. The good news? TSA allows most medical devices on board, and you can usually keep them in your carry-on. That way, you'll have access during your flight and avoid the risk of lost or delayed checked luggage. Here's a key tip. Let TSA know as soon as you reach the security line. A simple statement like, "I'm wearing a medical device," or "I have a metal implant," helps officers know what to expect. Some devices, like insulin pumps or CGMs, may be sensitive to full-body scanners or X-ray machines, so you can request a hand screening instead. TSA agents are trained to provide alternatives, like pat-downs, to protect your device. Documentation isn't strictly required, but it can be a lifesaver, especially if you're traveling internationally or through busy airports. A doctor's note or a device card can smooth things over if questions arise. Remember, keep syringes paired with the medication they're for, like insulin, and always carry them in your personal bag. And here's an extra tip for devices with metal components, like implants. These can trigger extra screening. Giving TSA a heads up upfront can prevent delays and confusion. It's all about preparation and communication. Declare your device, request hand screening if needed, and keep it accessible in your carry-on. That way, your essential equipment stays safe, and your airport experience is stress-free. Alright, now that we've covered prescription meds, OTCs, and medical devices, let's talk about how to pack everything efficiently. This is one of the most important steps for smooth airport security. First rule: keep all medications and medical devices separate from your toiletries. Use a clear, resealable bag, think Ziploc or similar, for all your medical essentials. This bag should contain prescription and over-the-counter meds, small medical devices, paperwork, and even frozen gel packs if needed. Separating everything makes it obvious to TSA that these items are medical, not regular liquids. Next, always keep this medical bag in your carry-on or personal item. Do not place it in the overhead bin or checked luggage unless you have a backup supply. Gate agents sometimes ask passengers to check carry-ons on full flights, and you don't want to be separated from your meds or devices. Another tip: make your bag easy to access. Place it at the top of your carry-on or in a backpack under the seat. This saves you from fumbling at the checkpoint and keeps the line moving smoothly. For controlled medications, keep them in their original labeled containers. Even if you transfer pills to a pill organizer, carry a photo or copy of the original label. This helps avoid extra scrutiny, especially for meds like Adderall, Ambien, or Vyvanse. A dedicated, organized medical bag in your personal item, separate from toiletries, ensures you move through TSA quickly, keeps your meds safe, and reduces stress. If you found this tip helpful, hit that like button and comment below. What's your must-have travel bag for medications? Now let's focus on controlled substances, medications like Adderall, Ambien, or Vyvanse. These medications often get extra scrutiny at TSA, so preparation is key. First, keep them in their original pharmacy-labeled containers. This includes your name, dosage, and prescription details. If you transfer them to a pill organizer, bring a photo or copy of the original label just in case TSA has questions. Accuracy is important. Make sure the name on your prescription matches your ID exactly. Even a small mismatch could slow you down, especially at international borders. Second, consider carrying a doctor's note explaining your need for the medication. It's not required, but it can make a huge difference if questions arise. This is especially useful for controlled substances, international travel, or busy U.S. airports where scrutiny may be higher. Third, plan for extra supply. Travel delays happen, so aim for at least 5 to 7 extra days worth of medication beyond your trip. If your current prescription can't cover that, ask your doctor or pharmacist ahead of time. This ensures you won't run out if your flight is delayed or your return is postponed. Controlled medications require careful labeling, optional documentation, and a little extra planning. Do this, and you'll avoid unnecessary delays and keep your essential meds in hand when you need them. Flying internationally with medications? This is where things can get tricky. Different countries have different rules, and what works in the US might not fly abroad. For example, some countries require your prescription to be translated into English, or even their local language. Others may have stricter limits on controlled substances or liquid medications. A smart tip: Check the embassy or airport authority of your destination country before you fly. This will help you avoid surprises at security or customs. And remember, TSA flexibility in the US doesn't always extend overseas. Some countries may want documentation or proof that your medication is medically necessary. Also, if you rely on devices like insulin pumps, CGMs, or syringes, bring extra documentation, including a copy of your prescription or a doctor's note. It's better to have paperwork and not need it than to get stuck in a foreign airport without access to your essential medications. Another key point: split your supply. Keep the majority in your carry-on, but pack a small backup in your checked luggage if allowed. This protects you in case a bag is lost or delayed. And finally, always carry a detailed medication list, including generic and brand names, dosage, frequency, and your doctor's contact information. Having both a printed copy and a digital version on your phone can save time and prevent confusion at international checkpoints. International travel requires extra preparation. Translations, documentation, and backup supplies can save you time, stress, and possibly your trip. Traveling internationally with meds? Comment below with your top tip for avoiding customs headaches. Finally, let's talk about TSA programs and extra help that can make traveling with medications and medical devices much easier. One of the best resources is TSA Cares. This program allows travelers with medical conditions or disabilities to request assistance at security checkpoints. All you need to do is fill out a short form at TSA.gov at least 72 hours before your flight, and they'll coordinate support so you can move through security smoothly and stress-free. If you have a hidden disability, consider using a sunflower lanyard. It's recognized at many major US airports and signals discreetly that you might need extra help or accommodations. This way, you don't have to explain yourself repeatedly, and airport staff can assist you appropriately. Here's another pro tip. Give yourself extra time at the airport. Security checks with medical devices can take a few extra minutes, especially during busy periods. Arriving early not only reduces stress, but also ensures you have time for hand screenings or any additional questions TSA might have. Finally, always stay organized and proactive. Use your personal bag or backpack for your medications. Keep documentation ready if needed, and communicate politely but clearly with TSA officers. These small steps can make a huge difference in your airport experience. And there you have it, everything you need to know to travel safely with medications and medical devices in 2025. From prescription pills and OTC meds to insulin pumps, syringes, and even frozen gel packs, you now know what's allowed, how to pack it, and how to breeze through TSA and international checkpoints without stress. Remember, preparation is your best travel companion. Keep medications in your carry-on, separate from toiletries, stay organized, and have documentation ready for controlled substances or international flights. Use programs like TSA Cares, the Sunflower Lanyard, and don't forget to give yourself extra time at the airport. These small steps can make a huge difference and turn what could be a stressful experience into a smooth, worry-free journey. The takeaway? Being proactive and organized keeps you calm, confident, and in control, so your trips are about enjoying your destination, not worrying about security lines. If you found this guide helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel hacks. And comment below. What's your #1 tip for traveling with medications? I'd love to hear your stories and advice.